Dr. Faiz Abdullah, Dr. Tomar, Vishwajit Pandey, Karthik, my young friend, very enthusiastic, and all the participants and presenters. I would like to say really thank you from the heart, from my heart, from my colleagues' heart, and I would like to invite you for our second conference, ICGCET in Denmark, which will be in August 18th to 20th. And I can give you some idea about Denmark, how you can reach us. I'm not very good in drawing, but if I make this, it is something like this. Here we have Germany, here we have Sweden, and that's Denmark. Copenhagen is here. And there is a bridge that many people don't know. This bridge is a hanging bridge. It's 8 kilometers long. It's a hanging bridge. And the whole distance from this ground to this ground is total 18 kilometers. It's amazing. It was built in 70s. But the only, the passage on the water, that's 8 kilometers. Just standing on 2 pillars. So Copenhagen is here. If you fly to Copenhagen, then you have to take a train, and we are located here. Aalborg city is here, where the main university campus is. This city is called Akbar. So that's in the south, and here we have England. That's that's the sea here, and England is here. So if you fly to Copenhagen, then you have to take a train. That takes about 3 hours to reach to Akbar. Okay, but if you take a plane, then you have to come to a city which is very near to us. It's called Billund. So you will fly either to Copenhagen, mostly in Europe, I think, from Kuala Lumpur, from India, from Pakistan, from any place. There will be most flights, they will be going to the Amsterdam or Germany, Frankfurt. Then you take a plane to Billund. And from Billund, it's only 45 kilometers. There are buses available, there are taxis, shared taxis, which, take shared they divide it on the number of people actually. So this way is much more convenient. Trains are very good as well, but you can imagine you are flying from India, maybe from Malaysia, like 14-15 hours, and then you take another 3-hour train, and including other times it will be 5 hours. We will provide, we are contacting the local hotels, so we will have cheap prices for the hotels as well. We'll try to guide you, and most information will be available on the website of the conference. If you need any reference letter for the visa, so we'll also provide that as well. Okay. Any question regarding this? And it will be an honor if you try and participate in that conference. And you'll be welcome. Okay, thank you very much. That's all about me. Now Karthik will probably give some more information.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing the location of our next conference. Now I'd like to invite Tomar, sir, Dr. Tomar, for a concluding speech. And he'll be the one who will be the head for the IEEE workshop in ICG.
Sorry.
Sorry, I missed that, Professor Love.
Thank you. This is in fact most difficult talk if you talk in terms of conference, because it is not ending, and still we call it concluding speech, because when you conclude something, a new research comes up from there only. So when you conclude one conference, new conference, whether it's your own conference or some other conference, and that's what our job is, to inspire. And fortunately, we have a lot of young guys in this, and that is what we should be proud of it. Because the person who is working for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, they are just doing for the sake of their continuity. Someone for promotion, someone for just to be in touch with that particular technology. But when you are really able to inspire young guys who are future of any country, then that is the basic motive of conferences. So whatever more and more inputs are required or more and more help is required, we all old guys, the professor and other professors, should guide our students what to do, how to do, and when to do. Because that is what main idea is required, because generally people prefer, okay, we will be working after completing this, that, and then so many things will come up. So there is no specific time to start your research, and that is what opportunities we should be able to give you. That IEEE workshop, which will be part of this. In fact, main conference will be in India, and generally we organize one workshop wherever, because it's far away and you can't fly down to India, because that cost of coming from Europe is much higher. So since 3 conferences we have been doing it, and fortunately IEEE also accepted for that, and this will be the 3rd workshop. Maybe only 10 to 20 or 50 paper, it will be less in number, because you cannot have more than 15% of papers outside your main conference. And we are a bit rigorous in review process, because it will be the 8th one. And if you go to Google search or IEEE search or web office page, that many conference or other citation schemes are there, you will find it's a highly cited conference. Yearly around 1,000 citations for those conferences are coming. So it will be fortunate for us to have you again and again, and that shows if we are able to provide you something, then only you return back. Otherwise you just say bye the time you come and never seen again. So that should not be the case on our part, because when you are organizer of some conference, that care should be taken by organizers. Apart from this, the basically conferences which you organize are not only for presenting your work. These conferences are to know about others' work, what is going on around the world. If you are at some place in India, you are, or at any place you are there, generally we come across the monotonous research, because what I am working, you will hear, and then you will start working, or your student will start working. But when you go to other part of the world, then you will come to know, yes, in the same area, what else is going on. So it is not current topics on which you are presenting. It is always how to ignite yourself and how to go for future research. Because so many questions will come up where you don't have any answer, because whatever you had, you have already presented. So the question which will come up on the basis of societal experiences, those things are taken back when you go back from your conference site. And if you are able to use them for your future research, then that is the real outcome of any conference. You can publish it in journals, so after 2 years, 3 years, by the time it is coming in transaction, already that work is old. So if you are, so parallelly you should have both. It is not that only conference you should present. You should have your availability in those, and that is much renowned. But still, you need to interact, and especially teaching community do not have time until unless you do not have compulsion to go. And the conferences provide you that compulsion also. Either you are going, your student is going. So those compulsions should always be there. And I hope in next conference, again many faces are there. And many more faces are there. And here in entire day I have been listening. The work which has been done, there are few things which are really new things to learn. So go back, discuss it among your colleagues. If you don't discuss, just you discuss what is the caves and other things, it is available on Wikipedia. You need to discuss what type of questions were there, what solution we can have for that, or what collaboration we can have. For example, I put a question to someone related to QuellNet or other things. In my lab, I have most of the research facilities in network, and they are free of charges. We don't charge in single buy, whether they are local guys or from any place. So even if you provide some idea, we can simulate and send it back to that gentleman. We have QuellNet, we have all libraries of QuellNet, and that is perpetual license, so we don't have to pay again and again. Then we have fabrication facilities also, especially for these communication guys, those who are working in filters, antennas, and everything is free of charge. Only thing, you need to put your brain at particular place and fetch out some ideas and send us, so that we are able to create some new product out of it. So I thank everyone available in this house and wish that your stay and your future journey of research is more fruitful. Thank you. See you again.
Thank you so much, Tomar sir, for sharing your views and giving a detailed information about IEEE workshop that will be conducted in ICGCD 2016 in August. Now I would like to invite our Journal Chair, Akbar sir, to kindly come here and distribute presentation certificates. May I have the author of paper ID 6, Arushi Sapra. Now, may I have the author of paper ID 7, Arpit Gupta? May I have the author of paper ID 16, Alisha Nagpal? Now, may I have the author of paper ID 39, Mr. Naveen?
Thank you very much.
May I have the author of paper ID 56, Ms. Kavita? May I have the author of paper ID 68 and 69, Mr. Kashif Hussain? I think Mr. Kashif Hussain is not here, so on behalf of him, May I have the author of paper ID 52, Mr. Bhagwan Das? And for the paper ID 59 as well, Mr. Bhagwan Das. May I have the author of paper ID 75, Ms. Bopalan? Thank you so much, Akbar sir, for distributing the presentation certificate. Now may I have the another journal chair, Mr. MFL Abdullah, kindly sir. May I have the author of paper ID 103, Mr. Ali? May I have the author of paper ID 104, Ms. Haryanti? May I have the author of paper ID 105, Mr. Majidi? May I have the author of paper ID 139 and 140, Mr. Ahmed? May I have the author of paper ID 107, Mr. Amitoj and Bakshish? May I have the author of paper ID 141, Ms. Siti? Thank you so much, sir, for distributing the certificates. Now may I have our PC chair, Dr. Tomar? May I have the author of paper ID 142 again, Ms. Siti?
Because they are all coming from my side. Okay, photograph. Yes, it's required.
Okay, done.
May I have the author of paper ID 142, Mr. Khairul? May I have the author of paper ID 164, Mr. Param and Mr. Hemant Sharma? May I have the author of paper ID 167, Ms. Shaila Islam? May I have the author of paper ID 166, Mr. Mohammad Kamrul Hassan?
means first year.
May I have the author of paper ID 165, Miss Azana? May I have the last and final author, paper ID, Mr. Shama, Shubham Shama? We have two listeners also. Can we have the certificates, please? I'd like to invite Mr. Mohammed Shetima. I'd like to invite Mr. Saleh. Kindly come on stage and take Thank you so much, sir, for giving away the certificates. With this, we'll end our conference, and I hope we meet again in ICGCD 2016.
There is tea break.
Yeah, there'll be a tea break after this at 5:15. Thank you.
Recording.